Hey guys, it's been over a year since I made my first video on how to use Sharesies. The website has changed a lot over that time, and since over 15,000 of you enjoyed that video, or rather 99% of you, I thought to create a new video with the updated layout. If you like this video and want to see more content just like this in the personal finance and investing space, please make sure to subscribe down below. So first things first, let's head to the website and log in. Once we're in, as you can see, the home screen has changed a wee bit. This is because over the past year, Sharesies has launched a few new products. The first thing we can see is our wallet balance, of course, and under that is a list of accounts we have with Sharesies. The first, of course, is investments, which is how most of us got into Sharesies in the first place. Under that is Save, which is a new product that Sharesies have launched. Think of it like a simple bank account you can add or withdraw from at any time, but we'll get into that later. We can also add new accounts below, opening a new Save account, a kids account, or bringing over your Kiwisaver account. I'll get into these as well later in the video. If we start with the investment screens, let's take a look. I can immediately see the value of the investments I've made with Sharesies. If I click on the chart, I get a view of how this has changed over time. You have the option of a few different time periods as well, if you want to take a better look. The pink line represents your estimated portfolio value, while the dotted line represents the money that you've put in. What you want is for the pink line to be above the dotted line, as this means that you're in a profit position. Below that, we can see our holdings by type. In this portfolio, I have nearly $600 spread across 7 investments, with roughly a 50-50 split between companies and ETFs. If we head back, we get a granular view of the amount that we've put in, our returns or profits, and this expressed as a percentage. If we click into each of these, we get a better view of how these values are derived. As you can see, I've made a return of $87 here, $71 of which is from the stocks going up in value or price, $22 from the New Zealand dollar depreciating relative to the US dollar, just over $1 from dividends, and have paid $7 in fees to Sharesies. Going down from there, we can see a list of our investments. Here we can see the 7 investments that I've made. If you have lots of holdings, you can use several filters here by country, risk, and type, which brings up a few options below it. You also have an activity button, showing you everything that's happened which has affected your wallet balance. I'll show you the wallet feature later in this video. So let's take a look at the investment screen, using Apple as an example. It has the ticker AAPL on the Nasdaq exchange, which is where most tech firms feature. It also trades at a current price of $178 per share. This changes frequently over the course of a day, and what we want to happen is for this to increase over time. We can also save Apple to our watch list, which will come up later in this video. Below that, we can read up on the investment to get an impression of what the business does and how it makes its money. This is just a starting point, and trading in individual companies is risky, requiring in-depth research you'll need to do outside of the app. We can also view a chart showing how the stock price has changed over time. The pink dots show when you've either bought or sold the investment, if at all. Changing the time horizons will update the high, low, and price change metrics below. As you can see, Apple stock is worth 13% more today than a year ago. So of course, this is good. Below that, you can see the dividend yield of Apple stock, meaning over the past year, for every dollar invested, you have earned 54 cents pre-tax. Clicking on this, you can see how this has changed over time. If it increases, like you can see here, that's a good thing, and your yield will increase over time. PE ratio, which stands for price earnings ratio, is a metric often used by value investors. A value of 29 means that for every $29 you invest in Apple, they earned $1 in profits in the prior year. The lower this is, generally it means you're paying less for $1 of earnings. Do be careful, however, as there are many traps with a low ratio that you should consider if you want to do value investing. And finally, the market cap shows you how valuable the company is. As you can see, Apple is currently a $2.7 trillion company. And for roughly the last 10 years, Apple has been the world's highest valued company. Finally, below that, you can see the fees associated with buying Apple stock through Sharesies at 1.9%, and the risk of investing in Apple, which as for many individual stocks, is up at 7 out of 7. Scrolling back to the top and clicking on your investment, we can see the details of our investment in Apple. I've invested about $47, made about $6, representing a 12% return. Going down, we see a more detailed chart, the stock price stats, and my investment activity relating to my Apple investment. So now let's take a look at buying and selling this investment. If we click buy down below, we get a couple options. The first is to market buy, simply meaning that when the markets reopen at 9 AM or so in New York each morning, Whatever the price is then is what I'll purchase the stock for. You can put any value here, upwards of a cent, and that purchase will go through at the best price when the market reopens. The second option we have is limit buy, which allows us to specify the maximum price we're willing to pay per share and the whole number of shares we would like to purchase at that price. Here, unfortunately, you can't specify the amount of money you'd like to invest, like you could with the market buy. Limit buys are useful if you want to buy Apple stock, but you have a maximum price you're willing to pay. For example, as you can see, the current price of Apple stock is $178. If you did your analysis, but you only want to buy the stock at a price up to or including $175, you can do that here, for example. The final option here, under the advanced setting, is a trigger buy. This is useful in the case of a rising stock with lots of momentum. Once a stock price rises to your specified value, the purchase will be made. While a limit buy ensures you only pay the price you specify, a trigger buy will execute at whatever the trading price is available at that point in time. Now let's jump over onto the sell side of things, which has the same options as buying, but in the opposite direction, of course. First, we have a market sell, which sells the stock at the next market open at whatever price is available. The second is a limit sell, where you specify a price at which you're willing to sell your stocks. This can be useful if you want to sell your Apple holdings if the price ever reaches $190 a share, for example. That doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to sell at $190, as there might not be any buyers at the price. However, if the price ever does get to that level, Sharesies will execute a sale. And finally, we have a stop loss, which allows you to specify a lower than market price at which you'd like to execute a sale at the best available price at that time. Here's a hypothetical. If you bought Apple stock at $160 a share, it rose to $178 today, but you're worried about upcoming events which might result in you losing money. Here you can create a stop loss at say $165, which means if the price falls to this level, it automatically sells your stock and you lock in your profits at around $5 a share. It might not be exact, but as long as it happens during normal market hours, Sharesies will execute that sale on your behalf at the best price possible. Let's now jump over to the Explore tab. This is where we can explore all of our investment options. The first is Invest, which allows us to search for stocks and funds to invest in. We can type something in up the top or use a range of filters. In your portfolio, shows your investments that you already own, while on your watch list shows investments you might have highlighted before, as we did with Apple, which you can see here. Going back to all and clicking on filter, you can see all the options you have to find good investments. First, we have the type of investment, such as company stock or ETFs and funds, which are fancy terms for an investment that has a lot of company stock within it. We also have categories, or the sectors the investment is in, and the exchanges. New Zealand investments can be found under NZX, Australian under ASX, and American under the next three. The final unlisted option mainly has Kiwisaver style New Zealand funds. Once you have filtered your selection, you can sort the list by market cap, or the overall value of the investment, price changes, returns, dividends, or alphabetical. By default is the market cap, allowing you to see the world's largest companies such as Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Nvidia. If we head back, we have the save option, which allows you to store money in your Sharesies account, like a bank account. Currently they offer an interest rate of 4.6% per year, and you can deposit or withdraw at any time. If we click this, we can create a savings goal with a separate account. For example, perhaps you're saving for a holiday, a car, or a wedding. Or, of course, you can type in your own name for the account here. You can then move money from your Sharesies wallet into this account. Then click Create. All of these goals then sit in your Sharesies account, just like a bank account, and you can move money between them as you wish. The money is stored with a New Zealand bank, just like it would if you had a regular account. The third option available is Kiwisaver, which allows you to move your Kiwisaver account across to Sharesies. This hasn't launched yet, but it will be similar to the regular Sharesies Invest options, but using your Kiwisaver funds instead, offering huge flexibility. And finally, you have kids accounts, which allow you to invest on your child's behalf, all from your Sharesies account, with the same flexibility. As we scroll down the page, you have the option to auto invest. This is where you tell Sharesies to invest an amount of money each week, and tell them what % of the money you want to go into each investment. You can either choose the investment ratio yourself, or they have also pre-made options if you prefer. If you create your own, you can simply search for investments, clicking Add, and then go to Select. You can then specify what percentage of your funds goes into each investment, which should add up to 100%. Once you've done that, click Next. Now you have to say how much you want to invest, how often, and when you'd like to start. Just make sure you have the funds in your Sharesies wallet each cycle to make sure this goes through. I do this with Kernel, another platform in New Zealand, and have automatic payments that send the money automatically on payday. Going back to the Explore options, we finally have the Auto Invest dividends. These two options are new to Sharesies and are among the most requested. The first option means that when you're paid a dividend, Sharesies will automatically reinvest it back into shares. If I have $100 in Apple stock and they pay an after-tax dividend of $1, Sharesies would then automatically reinvest that $1 into Apple stock for me before fees. The second option here is a dividend reinvestment plan, also known as DRIP, where some companies do this themselves, which can often have tax benefits. So with that, it rounds out the Explore options. Next up is the wallet. Here you can see all of the money in your account that hasn't been invested or put in a save account. This is broken down into the New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, and the US dollar. The first option we have here is to exchange money, which allows you to change money from any of these three currencies into another. More importantly, however, you have options here to top up your wallet or withdraw cash from your wallet. Starting with topping up, you have two options. You can either top up using your debit card or your credit card, but be conscious this has fees, or a bank transfer, which is free, but can take a couple hours to go through. You simply need to send money to Sharesies using their bank account number and your unique code as a reference so they know whose account to top up. If you choose to withdraw, you can simply type the amount you want to withdraw and click the button below. You can set up your bank account number in your account settings to the left. The wallet figure and the amount you can withdraw can be different, as funds can sometimes take a few days to clear. Here you can see 2 cents, but if I go back, you can see $10 and 2 cents. And with the final options you have, you can also create a top-up goal if you need a visual reminder to save, redeem a gift card, or transfer money to your save account too. Scrolling down, you can see all the transactions which have affected your wallet balance too. Now onto the fourth tab is Share the Aroha, allowing you to purchase Sharesies gift cards or refer a friend. If you'd like to sign up to Sharesies using my code, here it is here. You'll receive $5 to get started with Sharesies, and I'll get $5 too. And lastly, we have the Account Settings tab. Here you can input your personal and tax details, as well as setting up security settings such as 2-factor authentication and an authentication app. Under monthly plans, you can view subscription options you have with Sharesies. These start from $3 a month and allow you to bypass transaction fees up to a given value each month. The $15 a month plan also includes the market depth option, which shows you all of the buy and sell orders currently available on the stock market. If you have large amounts to invest or sell, this can be useful for looking at stock liquidity. For most people, however, this isn't really needed. Going back, we have the portfolio options. The first option allows you to recalculate your investment returns, excluding sold investments, which I've done previously as I had $80,000 in this account, which has already been sold off. The second allows you to trade outside of the normal market hours, which can be useful when companies announce earnings before or after hours. And Sharesies have this option for certain stocks. And the third option is to connect Sharesies to Sharesight, a company founded in New Zealand that helps you better track your investments. It's a great platform, which is why it's featured here on the Sharesies website. Down below is a link if you'd like to check them out and even get 4 months free with an annual plan. Going back is the final useful setting called Generate Reports, which gives you the option of creating 3 reports about your investing activity. This is useful for your tax accountant, Excel tracking sheets, or just general knowledge. So that rounds out everything you need to know about the Sharesies platform. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe to my channel down below to see more content just like this in the personal finance and investing space. Thanks for watching, and all the best for your investing journey. Cheers.